Hey guys, give me a minute. That down. I gotta raise this up. Here we go. Let's move that over there, and my head's cut off. I wonder if that pole's got to go up, right? My head's still cut off. Why am I typing? How would I do this? I thought I had it set up right. See something? Hold on. Does that do it? That would make it better. Oh boy. Oh, we're over there now. Hold on. Hold on. Oh boy, that's a lot of me coming at you this morning. I think if you raised it, that might work. Oh boy. Hold on. Is that going to work? I think this might work, actually. Give me a second. Give me a sec. I think I got this figured out. Mm-hmm. Oh boy. No, you got to come over here. Why would you pull like that? Oh, the cord's caught. Is that working? All right. Hold on. I think I got it. There we go. Oh, that's much better, right? Yay, bonding. It's kind of aggressive, but whatever. All right, it is what it is. This is it. This is what we got, and let's go for it. All right. I don't know why I had it set up when I did the practice of it, but it is what it is. So this is what we got, and let's just go for it. Let me just see one thing. Make sure you can hear me. I had this whole thing set up this morning, and now it's like it's kind of crazy, but it is what it is. I don't know what the heck I did wrong, but I did something wrong. All right, let's go. Look, I'm typing like I'm up. Like I got like Tyrannosaurus Rex hands like here now. Like I'm not feeling this at all. Okay. All right, here we go. But I don't think that's going to make it better. I really wanted to stand. My legs are killing me. But this is what we got. So let's rock with it. All righty. Let's go to this, go there, and get into it. By the time we have together, so you don't have to watch me with the internets. I thought I had that whole thing set up. It's super annoying. I've been staring at this, and all it's doing is just stare. I'm just staring at it, but you're still not able to get over it. And I think this is super important. And I keep waiting for the shoe to drop, and it's just not dropping. It just isn't. It's just not dropping at all. But I don't know, man. I just wouldn't be jumping into it yet. I'd still be waiting to see what happens with it. You really haven't moved since July 3rd. You broke out and you've just been sitting there. And as you're hitting highs, this is hitting lows. So I still feel like something's out there with it. And I'd be super careful. I just would, man. I'd be super careful with it. I don't know that you have the solution yet to what's going to get us there. I keep waiting for them to care about something that's going on, and quite frankly, they just don't seem to be. They just don't seem to be caring that much. If we have these levels set up, they are what they are. I don't really see much to add here. I really don't see much to say. Like we can say, oh well, here's another one. Are you really trading for 20 points? I mean, some of you crazy kids are. I know, you know who you are. But, is there really something there of value that I'm adding by staring at something that's going sideways? I just don't feel that there is. I just don't feel that way. So I think you're better off, candidly, when I look at it, just like finding other pockets of interest. Give me a sec here, guys. Sorry. It's funny. I thought rearranging the computer and rearranging my time frame that I'd be more organized, and it's actually gotten less organized. These are the levels I had yesterday. I don't really see a reason to change them. So I'm not going to change them. I'm just going to leave them where they are. I think you're better off. Like I don't see a reason to change these. So I don't know what else to tell you there. Like I don't see this impetus to go, oh, well, we got to move this. We talked about this little area in here hitting from that DTL. And if we extrapolate that out, you can see that what happened is that was real, hits it, rejects Matumbo, and then you flip it and you go right into our neckline. And we talked about that neckline, and now you're trying to flip that neckline. But to really flip it, you'd have to go up here, right? If anybody has a mouse that is either wired or wireless that's silent, let me know. I get emails all the time from you guys like, your mouse is so loud. Okay. Like, Jesus. But what do you want from me? I don't know. I don't know what to tell you about that. I don't know, man. I don't think there's really like I'm not adding much here. I'm just not. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it. Well, I'll do the SPY as well, but all right, guys, we're going in a straight line. Like I just don't think there's much to add. I think I could add more by spending time on the sectors. I think there's way more I can do by spending time on the sectors. I think that might be helpful. Crazy what I do before 7 screens, right? Which I think makes more sense. I think you have to look at the secondary sectors, and that's where I would go with this. I'll just tell you that right now, and I know Steven's gonna love this, but like, if you're looking at stuff like your URA, man, this stuff's like setting up big time. Like, you have these huge runs, you pause the backfill, and then the rip. Like, this stuff's really setting up. Like, you're going back to literally decade levels. Like you're setting up, and there's not a lot of money in these funds, and there's not a lot of money in these names. So when it crowds in, see, what people have to understand is like they'll get into the you'll get into like, oh, the PE of it is this or the PE is that. It doesn't matter. It's all garbage, because the real issue is going to be how much money is going to come in from inflows from retail into that ETF. So the game's changed a little bit there, right? Because that's really what's driving the market. Crap. Give me a sec. Here. Give me 1 second. I'll just wait for it to beep and then go back and get it. So I think if I could add anything here is like, I brought this one up in one of the Saturday videos back in the day, and I was walking through it, and I think this thing's going to go. I don't know why it's anointed, but it is. Back in the day, we had Munder net like in 2000, and everybody had to be a Munder net. Whatever they bought, it just went up. You're going to see that kind of nonsense in this. Like, go look at the market caps of some of these things and then picture everybody's 401k and IRA getting nuclear exposure. What's the other one, Stephen? This one, right? So he was talking about this one the other day, and like, look at it. You see how these things are setting up? Like, they just formed all the big ones. They're just forming flags and pendants. Let me get my coffee. So they just all formed. They're all forming flags, right? Like all of them. So my sense of that is like it's just not going to stop. And the other one that I would just tell you, and because it's just because the way it is right now, is like block. Anything that's in here is probably going a lot higher because people aren't going to know what to buy, and so they're just going to buy the crypto names. They're just going to buy them all, and then we'll figure it out later. So anything that's in here is probably going higher. The one that I would avoid, if I had to tell you like how I would do this, I would avoid quantum, not because it's not going higher, but because they really don't own the names that you think they own, right? They do own some RGTI, but they also own like IBM, right? They own a lot of different stuff. So we had a great trade in this yesterday. It was like the cat's pajamas, that trade. And that's huge volume yesterday. But I'm going to open it up to questions now. I think our time's better spent like that than me pointing at Taiwan Semi or pointing at the indexes. I would just tell you that if I had to tell you the themes that I see that are coming, I don't think people truly get the nuclear theme. And I know guys in the room have been on it forever. Hell, they have their own nuclear room in there. But I do think that. So anyway, let's get to it. I'll try and answer everybody today. We'll get to it. Okay. All right, if this thing ever stops, there it goes. Boom. Who can work the internets? I can. What's up, Troy? Happy Magnificent Thursday. I hope so. I hope you get some learning. If nothing else, follow me for more technical tips. Yeah, I want to cover a couple of these. I actually want to cover all of them. What's up, Julian? So they're doing a secondary. If I was them, I'd be doing a secondary too. I don't think we have a pricing on it yet. Do we? Do we have a pricing on this yet? Let's go and take a look. I love when we can do stuff together. God, did they really screw this? I mean, he really screwed Twitter up, didn't he? He used to be able to go on Twitter and find things. Not anymore. Sometimes I just go there because it would be so much easier to find something than using one of the news services, but not anymore, man. It's like a little bit of a, all the bots out there. I don't even know how you guys find people to follow for stock stuff anymore. SBET, like just because it's so like there's so much crap on there now. Priced upsized. Okay, they did price it and they upsized it. Okay, so that's good. All right, so after the company announced 500 million, but they upsized it today. Upsized means that they have way more demand than expected. Public price offering of 55. Okay. All right, so here's your news. I'm just going to grab it off Benzinga. They're actually fairly decent. Like if you just need quick news, there's some stuff on there that's just really just awful. But for quick news, they're pretty decent. So there's our news. So you should not break 55. Now, the fact that it's upsized to me would mean that you had demand. So whenever you see the word upsized, it usually holds bid. So what you need to make sure of with MP is that it does not break 55. So you might just want to put that in your notes and just go MP should, must hold. Let me change that because people say, well, you said should, must hold 55. Yay. That's the first thing that I would start with out of what you got. You got a bunch of names here I want to cover. So I think it's huge that they got a contract. I wouldn't want to be short it. I would not want to be short this. That would scare the living heck out of me right now. Millions of shares are short. I mean, it's actually like a perfect sweet spot. You have, I think, 5 or 7 million shares outstanding. It's not a lot on the float, right? 20% of it short. It's like your perfect sweet spot for you guys that look for those squeezes. And what I'm seeing here is I'm seeing a nice move or the possibility of a decent move. So I wouldn't sleep on it. I think it's good. We got a bunch of guys in the room that are killing it with it. The SBET, personally, if you want to buy one of these things, like if you're saying which one of these things do I want to buy, you need to be looking at this one. I kind of get it with the staking and the percentage of money they're going to make off the staking. And maybe they're going to sell the staking and then they're going to start doing convertibles. And then that part of it could really work. But you can't keep issuing shares and expect the premium to stay there because the premium will shrink over time, right? Like your NAV to ETH is like what, 2.5 to 1, 3 to 1 right now. So that's not going to stay there. It'll shrink over time, right? It's definitely cheaper than BMNR. I mean, I'll just leave it at that. I'm not going to get into all of it. But I think if you were looking at this and saying, like, you have to look at this a couple different ways. If you're going to look at this and say, this is going to be the cat's pajamas, this is the future, this is the one they're going to play. You know, whether you're at 20 or 40 or 80 or 10, this is the one they're going to play. And I'll show you the levels that I'm looking at it with. But I think it makes more sense to short the other one, but like I get it. What I want from like an ETH treasury is the ability for them to issue convertible debt, because that's when the leverage really freaking kicks in. And that's why like MSTR is just such a monster. And I obviously have a position in that, but that's what people don't get, because he's not diluting. You're shorting the shares, but you're not diluting the shares. And that's like, you don't want to keep doing secondaries and dilute and dilute and dilute. What you want to do is if you do the converts, then you can just buy the converts back, right? And that's what he's doing. So, but you need the cash flow to do that. That's why MSTR works so well. I don't know how they're going to do that. I don't know how. Maybe they're going to do it through the staking. That's the only thing I can think of, but we'll see. The cores trade, I think this makes a lot of sense, a lot, if you want to own CoreWeave. I mean, the spread here between CoreWeave and cores is like $4 when we did it. So I don't know why people wouldn't want to do that spread. So I like all of those ideas. What's up, Dan? BBAI. Yeah. I mean, it's holding, but I don't know. I'm not really all over it right now. I mean, you're not really in the crosshairs today. What's up, Di? What you got? URIN. I mean, I'd like you to have more volume. I don't know. I don't know what they do. They do something with the uranium, so everyone's going to probably be giddy for it. I don't know enough about it to talk intelligently about it. I could just tell you by looking at the volume, no one seems to get it or to care. Maybe they will after earnings. I think that was supposed to be last night, but it doesn't really look like it. So I don't know. I'm not really feeling it. Yeah, I own the KTOS. The ACHR is interesting because you're setting up, and you really wanted to see how they were going to react to that shuffle, right? And that guy actually was sick. Um, but you really want to watch how you act to that shuffle because you probably are, really setting up right around. So if I clean this off and I'll do it right, drop the magnet. And so what you'd really want to do are two levels. You really want to watch the 52 level here. That's the first thing. And then like you definitely don't want to break 11, right? You just don't want to do that. I would tell you that this probably does follow. And we're seeing a lot of that. And if you really look at that, it probably does follow that JOBY. Um, and I'll tell you what's interesting about this. We went out there and started looking at some of these other names, like about like a month ago, back in the day, that were part of like the RKLB, like all those kinds of names, like other names that were in this space. It's crazy. I paid $44 for this like 2 days ago, and I thought it was expensive. But so I found this name, and like at like $13, right? And it's up 100%. People are like in the community are like killing it with it. And what tends to happen here is this stuff starts grouping, but it starts grouping for different reasons now. Like how I explained earlier, people are just buying ETFs. Like they have a job to do. They got crap to do during the day. Like they don't want to hear that, oh no, you got to buy this one over that one. They're like, what's hot right now? And that's what the ETF market's doing. This is my symbol for ETF market. Um, they're just going, just get me exposure to that. I want exposure to this. And so then they're like, oh, okay. So then, you want exposure to that? You're like, yeah, I want exposure to this. All right, well, that's this. That's how that quantum fund, like what they did was genius, absolute freaking genius. Because what the quantum fund did was lure everybody in with, oh, we own RGTI, which I think they still own. But we own QUBT, we own IONQ, we own QBTS, which is actually setting up as well here. If you flip this right here. So you see the vol. So you want to watch that today. But they got out of all those names and then they bought IBM, then they bought NVIDIA, and like they took the assets and then they're like, oh, we need to stabilize the fund. It's sickly brilliant what they did. Like I sound like a nerd over it, but it was like really cool. I think that you're going to see somebody come out with something like this and say, oh, we have we have exposure to this. I'm surprised she's not doing it with like ARK X, like I'm really surprised she's not doing it. You had this breakout here on ARK X in June, and since then it's been there. So maybe she's going to start doing it. I know one of her big names. I have a whole list of like the names that she thinks are 10x. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. Going down the rabbit hole a lot today. She did a speech, and people should listen to it. I don't know why people bash her. It always makes me laugh. They don't understand like her at all, but whatever. Let me see if I can find it like super quick. If I can, I can. There it is. Yay. One of her like 10x names is Arch. And I don't bet again. Like when she tells you something's going to happen from a theme perspective, you bet. Like people always like laugh at like what her ETFs do. I'm like, there's something called a charter she has to follow, right? I'm like, you'd give your left arm for her performance, but it was Arch. Like that, she thinks this thing's like this is the one that she's buying, and the amount of research that she does, man. Like I wouldn't play with her, like on the research front. Do the opposite. Go for it. KTOS makes the most sense for me. Bond auction, yeah, we'll see. You got tons of rain lately, right? We'll see. What do you got here? CoreWeave? I don't know, dude. Do we really want to spend time on it? You're kind of locked in an M&A transaction now, aren't you? Right, so we're probably not going to see a lot there. I don't know. I should bring it up though, shouldn't I? Where is it? Tron, right? I should bring this up, maybe. I don't know. Go for it. I have no idea. People are going to want to watch it for sure. I should probably just put it out that this is now Tron. I mean, people might buy it because they're going to buy Tron, but I don't know. We'll see. What's up, Ed? Yeah. Yeah, they are. They keep pulling it back and then they keep ripping it, pulling it back and keep ripping it. And what's crazy about it is like it's been the easiest trade since it broke out. Breaks out, retest, goes. I mean, when you really think about this, like I was trying to explain this to people, you're up $20. You have to size accordingly right now because of the nonsense that's out there. I'm not really that crazy about it, but let's cover it. But you got to watch that. I'm not in this. I get it. Everyone's like looking for the next uranium one. Maybe this is it. Maybe it's the volume. Maybe this will be the one. It's not one that I'm really paying attention to. I'll throw it in the uranium room for him, Julian. But ADTN, please don't be a penny stock. Please don't be a penny stock. Please don't be. Yeah, you did have a lot of volume there. I don't know why. I don't understand this trade at all, dude. Like I don't understand why this stuff's falling apart the way that it is, but it is. So I have to respect it. I like ASML long term. I own it. It does this, I buy it. I do very well buying this thing when it falls apart. You just have to understand eventually, if you have patience, it's going a lot higher. But you have to have patience with it. It just is. And they're really at a huge disadvantage. Itchy today. They're at a huge disadvantage with the tariffs. Huge. Because not only with the tariffs, but if you look at Build Back Better, no, that's not that. That was the other guy. Right? What's this one? Big Beautiful Bill. I mean, these guys with their B's. What did he say? He's like, he had something in there about depreciation, right? I think it was, if it's in the US, you can depreciate 100% of it. ASML doesn't build in the US, they build in the Netherlands. So you're not even getting the full depreciation for buying the piece of equipment here. So it weighs on them for sure. Bro, I'm not going to pronounce that. Good morning from Miami. Dude, I'm never going to do it. What's up, Tara? Buy a tiny thing in the corner, I guess. I don't know. What's up, Kev? I thought you were just isn't the Shenandoah Valley? I thought you were just in Argentina. UNG, GEV's a monster. Logie has a wireless mouse that's there. What's this one? MX Master 3S mouse by Logie. All right. Can I get that thing on Amazon? MX3 mouse by Logie. Yeah, that I don't know. I need it left-handed. They make that thing left-handed? It looks like it's for right-handed people. It's so racist. I don't know. That might be left-handed. That's not left-handed. I'm looking at it backwards. I need a left-handed one. All right. I'll look into it. I pulled it up. Maybe a trackball. Dude, trackball. Right? Yeah, it's gone. A boom mic and arm is the best way to get rid of the background sound. Take a look at FFIN, cheap and effective. I'll look at that. A boom mic. Back in the day. I got to, yeah, the echo. I don't know. I keep buying mics. They told me to buy this shotgun mic. That was going to get rid of everything. I have this mic around here. I spent like 1,500 on it. It's like a Shure mic. I got the cloud filter, all my free time. Lucid partnership, did they? Well, that's nice. Maybe that'll actually make the stock go higher, but I doubt it. I mean, it's probably a short. Probably should mark this off as something I want to short today. See if we can get back up here. Let it go for a couple days. I don't know how you anticipate it, but yeah, 100%. I think they do. 100%. I think they do. They both look fantastic. There's nothing to say here. I actually think that's setting up Aquazilla. I actually do. I think that's setting up. Oh, nice. Congrats, Giovanni. I'm not touching that. Netflix tonight's going to be huge. That's interesting if they are. Yeah, I'm left-handed. They make a left-handed trackball, do they? Maybe I got a trackball. Maybe. All right, I'm out. See you guys.